Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having the part of fortune in the first house in a natal chart. Now, the part of fortune I see is strongly about cultivation and growth in connection with the part of fortune in the sign and the house that it's in. And if you have this in the first house, this could be perhaps a person that may have had difficulties, perhaps with developing their outlook on life. This may have been they may have needed to cultivate this and grow and maybe gain their own unique perspective over time until they reach adulthood. Maybe there was something in the outer demeanor that maybe rebuffed people, or maybe had maybe turned some people off. And it doesn't necessarily mean there was something wrong with someone's outer personality, but it could indicate that maybe it came across as wrong. For example, somebody that talks in a very intellectual way or is very articulate and verbose might be construed by some people as somebody that's putting on airs and trying to act smarter than someone else, when the reality is it was just the way the person was talking. In this example, this could be like somebody with the part of fortune in Gemini in the first house. If we look at this, it's also the first house is about the projection of the self and the appearance, maybe the appearance to some degree. Maybe this was something that this person didn't feel 100% confident with, and they felt compelled to make some modification or changes connected with it. This is a person that through progression may, as far as cultivating maybe their own unique personality, their own outlook on life, and not to be impacted by extraneous influences or outside influences. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with listening to a close friend, a confidant, a good acquaintance, somebody that's trying to tell you things that are beneficial to you. But generally speaking, it may be more fortuitous for this person to just establish their own viewpoints and go with them, and this could likely put this person on the best path. Now, a lot of this also, I want to say that this is about becoming more self-reliant and depending on oneself as opposed to others. Now, don't get me wrong, there may be contraindicators in a natal chart, such as a number of planets in Libra, say, or let's say you have a preponderance of planets on the right side of your chart, and that would be houses 4 through 9, which could indicate you like things done maybe more collaboratively, or doing things with others as opposed to yourself. But even regardless of that, if you have the part of fortune in the first house, it could indicate that things are more fortuitous for you by being more dependent on your own self as opposed to perhaps those of others. Now, a lot of this depends on the sign that this is in. Now, supermodel Cindy Crawford has the part of fortune conjunct her first house in her natal chart, and naturally her appearance has been more than fortuitous and advantageous for her. And being in the zodiac sign Cancer, perhaps many have felt at home by seeing her appearance, so to speak, and she, I'm sure, has made a prodigious amount of money because of this, and she has benefited, I'm sure, immensely because of this. Now, singer Chris Brown has his part of fortune in the first house, and it's also conjunct his ascendant. It is in the magnanimous flamboyant sign Leo. No big shocker there, right? Now, this could be where he can maybe dress in a flamboyant, men are wearing flamboyant type outfits, outfits that are meant to attract attention. His extroversion could be strongly connected with how his fortune in his life. And Leo doesn't do anything, and it's similar to Sagittarius this way, that Leo is a sign that certainly doesn't do anything in small doses. So I'm sure he has racked up a pretty good amount of money because of this. And And I'm not saying it's just his appearance. I'm sure he's a very talented singer, but his appearance has led him, I think, to be very charismatic and has played a role in this. And appearances do count, I think, in terms of your success as well. And your outer personality and demeanor can play a role in this. Now, another person that has the part of fortune in the first house and its conjunct the ascendant is model Heidi Klum. And she has a Leo ascendant, so obviously she's another one that's very charismatic and magnetic and can't help but draw attention to herself just naturally. Now, she has the part of fortune in Virgo in the first house conjunct her ascendant, which can show that she could be very meticulous in the way she dresses and in her appearance and how she comes across to others on a first impression. And this could play a vital role in her success as a model. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the part of fortune in the first house in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the part of fortune in the second house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.